Okay, yo, what's up? So as you can see, we're starting a new series. Throughout the month of April, I'm going to be taking VOD reviews of players' gameplay and looking at them strategy-wise. So there's a couple of different types of VOD reviews that you can do for yourself as a player. There's the first form, which is like a log review type beat, where, I'm not qualified to talk about every single specialization. I roughly know how most specs in this game function, but in terms of like the micro plays, like what button you should be pressing when, I'm not able to kind of diagnose all the problems that you're making on a micro level. On a macro level, on a strategy level, though, there's the second type of VOD reviews, which is what I'm very good at diagnosing. Obviously, I cast a TGP, high-end player, and I kind of understand just the flow of pretty much every single dungeon state this season so far. And so that's what we're going to be kind of doing. We're going to be kind of taking the strategy approach of all of the dungeons and kind of talking through and like teaching people how to actually get better. What I'm looking for out of this from you as the viewer here is if you and a couple of your buddies are pushing keys this season and you want to improve. Say you guys have a goal, whether it's pushing the 3K IO achievement, pushing for a potential rank 1 title, whatever it may be. You're looking for a goal that you're trying to achieve, and you're playing together as a group, and you think that you could actually get some value out of some just like simple strategy tips and just kind of talking through what some of the fundamentals of Mythic Plus that I at least will be able to diagnose from like a VOD review and think that you might end up lacking. Go ahead and kind of send this in. I think that this is the kind of thing that is for you, the viewer. Okay, so the way you do that, I'm going to have this Google form down in the description. I'm also going to have it linked on my Twitch page as well, so people can actually submit some of their runs. And how you're going to do this is you're going to go here into this Google form, and then you're going to kind of write out just kind of like who you are as a person, so I can kind of get like a cursory understanding of who you are, what your goals are, and what we're trying to accomplish whenever we're looking to VOD review this, right? So I mean, first question off the bat, what are your goals for the season? That to me is going to kind of determine, what things I'm going to be kind of looking to tell you, because you can kind of prescribe some different diagnosis for different players, kind of depending on what they actually need, right? For a player who's going for the 3K IO title, you might need to prescribe a completely different route than somebody who's actually trying to get the rank 1 Mythic Plus title. These are very different things. Just in general, going for the 3K IO achievement is very different. It says title here. I need to change this to achievement. Definitely set the wrong thing. Okay. In addition to that, who are you playing with in these runs? I think that in general, it's going to be difficult to actually look through a run of you and a pug. I think that this is going to need to be like you and some friends that are playing together. It doesn't necessarily need to be a full 5 stack, but it needs to be some people that you're playing with that you can actually improve with if you are going to be getting help. Whenever I would like look through a log of or a VOD of a potential pug, there's only so much that I can reasonably tell you that's going wrong here. In addition to that, you as well, you as the person who's submitting this, you don't necessarily know what the tank is thinking. You don't necessarily know what the healer is thinking. But if you're the person who's like playing with all of these people, or you're playing with a couple of these people, you're at least going to know kind of fundamentally like what these people are thinking. And you'll be able to get more out of this than if you were just like looking through this in a pug. Because as a pug, it's like kind of difficult for me to be like, oh yeah, your tank should be doing this instead. And you're never seeing this tank again. So like, how is this going to help anything? What do you think you need the most help with? What would you like to get out of this is kind of the next question. It's kind of an interesting question. For some people, they kind of know what's going on. For some people, sometimes the end of the dungeon is a little bit tighter than runs that we see on stream, and our timer is a little bit tight. Is there something there with that? It could be something as simple as, oh, whenever we're walking up to a pack, we get a little bit overwhelmed with our interrupts. How should we kind of set up our interrupts? Those are kind of the things that we can kind of walk through. And if you believe that you need the most help trying to be able to figure out how to assign interrupts to the correct person, who's going to be getting what interrupt or what CC rotation we should be playing with our composition, those are kind of the things that I will actually be able to kind of help you with and kind of nail down, okay, so this should be the most optimal CC chain for this situation versus this situation. And then the final thing is just kind of link the VOD and what dungeons do you prefer to be reviewed. Obviously, I think that both timed and depleted runs are pretty valuable in this case. I think that even like a depleted run that you actually play fully to completion, and we can kind of talk through that, those are also pretty useful runs. So if you have any of those as well, feel free to submit them. If you have like a couple of runs, I can glance through a couple of them. But yeah, we're going to be going through this every Monday throughout the month of April, pretty early in the morning. I'm going to start streaming around 10 a.m. CST, 1700 CEST-ish. That's where I would like to start streaming ish. So if you want to kind of check that kind of stuff out, go ahead and check out the stream. We're going to be VOD reviewing every Monday. And if you are looking for if you're somebody who is looking for a little bit of help, make sure you just submit your VOD in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.